And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another round of Next Round Sports. This is Chris Porter here with Caleb Culver and Jeff Amos. How you doing tonight, gentlemen?
Hola.
We've been better.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
It's going to be a long year.
It is going to be a long year here as we finished up week 5 of the NFL season. And we'll start out here with my Cowboys. We got the win, but it was against the winless Jets. It was expected. I even said the Jets would beat them last week just because I was being facetious and I was just sick of this nonsense.
Sure.
I'll probably say they're going to beat Carolina. Carolina's going to beat us too because that's what way they play. But the Cowboys did come out. The defense
They
didn't
showed
look
up for a
great.
half.
They showed up for a half,
they
which is
kinda
more
went
than what they
away.
have, but still, fire Eberflus. They did what they needed to do against a bad team,
Yeah.
a porous team, a team that
Who
has
knew
a
that
lot of
UCLA would get a
soul-searching.
win before the Jets would? That's
I know,
crazy.
really. What an upset there. They didn't even have enough fans to storm the field.
No. Mm-hmm.
But I thought,
yeah.
I think you have to give Dallas some credit. I mean, they did what they were supposed to do. They
did what you don't give them credit when you do your job and do what you're supposed to. You're supposed to beat bad teams.
They kicked their ass like they
and they let him get close at the end. It was 30-3, and then they.
Oh, those are just garbage touchdowns.
It doesn't matter.
No, I wouldn't call those necessarily garbage touchdowns. The last one, maybe, but yeah, no, that all wasn't garbage time.
This game was over. This game was over by.
And you let them get it back in and let it get close because you let your foot off the pedal. They should demolish them. They should not let them score more than 3 points. That's what should have done. That's what a good team would have done. But no, they let them crawl back in.
I never worried for a second that Dallas was going to lose this game at any point. Even when the Jets made it 30-14, Dallas had full control of this game. I mean, Dak was phenomenal.
They did have full control of this game, but at the same time,
we had a Breece Hall sighting for the Jets.
Flournoy was great. Pickens was great. I thought it was a great showing for the offense. And by and large, I thought it was. And by and large, I think it was a solid performance for the defense too. I just think that
right now garbage you look touchdowns like Jerry Jones just flipping off people from the from his box. That's what you. That's what you sound like. Right
which he didn't mean to do. He said
unintentional, but he still got fined.
Yeah, as he should.
He got an invert middle finger. Yes, five sacks. Everyone was wanting Dallas to pressure the quarterback. They did. The only concern that I had in this game from the defensive perspective was the run defense. I didn't think that was particularly good. Breece Hall had a great game, and who knows, if the Jets weren't down 30-3, Breece Hall could have had, 200 yards in that game. We don't know. So I think run defense is still a little bit of concern, but I thought their pass rushing was great. And I thought their secondary was okay. Not great, but fine. Good enough.
Well, that's the thing. You can't
be
you
got the number one offense.
Enough,
you can just be good enough.
Exactly.
You don't want to be good enough against the worst team in the NFL.
No, I agree. I don't think this was a mirage as far as the defense goes, I think. I mean, the offense is still doing what it's going to do this year, which was kind of what we thought, besides the running game being there. We thought the passing attack would definitely be the focal point, I think.
Do what he's doing. And
he's going to have he's on pace for 1,500 yards or something. That's fifth or 10th
no one
would
have guessed that.
It's
find the person that bet on that in Vegas, because that's a time traveler who already knew it was going to happen and came back and put a bet on that, because no one would have bet on that.
No.
Yep. Very true. Very true.
But all in all, you beat a team that you're supposed to beat. Jerry Jones flipped off the and really the Jets are the Jets. I mean, this franchise is just, you'd think they couldn't sink any lower. And then you add former Jets great Mark Sanchez getting stabbed, and then arrested shortly after for attacking his DoorDash driver. I mean, that's pretty much what the Jets have been. It's just, I would be surprised if they win a game this year. They'll be surprised if they win a game this year, and you got to beat these teams. You have to win. The Jets are a game you have to win. If the Jets beat you, it's because you let them beat you.
I'm curious if the Jets do go like 1-something, if they'll go ahead and fire their coach like they've done in the past.
I don't think Aaron Glenn makes it out if he finishes 1-16 or 2-15, and then it's clear that the Lions aren't missing him in Detroit.
No, not at all. Not at all. They're looking. They looked a little rough that first game, but I think that was a lot of the getting used to the new faces, the new systems running in. But they've been hitting on all cylinders ever since. But that's a conversation for another time. Honestly, the Jets probably should just kick the tires on Rex Ryan again. What's it going to hurt? Anything could have been better than what they're getting right now.
Oh, Rex Ryan would take that job in a heartbeat.
Without a second thought. Without a second thought, he would. He would jump all over that, just talking trash. He'd be like, "Check's not here anymore." Fuck it. But yeah, it's a game that as I was saying,
they should have won
last week,
and they did.
I said the Jets were going to beat us, get their first win because I was just so down on the Cowboys. But that's a game you're going to win. You should have won. You should have won it more handedly. You let your foot off the gas and shouldn't let them even in. You should just been dominant the whole way through. But hey, you got the win. You did what you got to do. And with the Cowboys coming up this next week against Carolina, this is another team that you should win. You should win this, even though you're going against your old running back Rico Dowdle, who just came off a 200-yard game. I mean,
Carolina looked good last week.
They did, but this is a game you should also handle. You should handle it pretty easily. It should be just like the Jets. There shouldn't be a problem. You should easily win this game, but somehow they'll find a way to let the Carolina Panthers.
For some reason, I'm with you. I feel like the Panthers they're going to win this. I think I'm going to allude back to Jeff a little bit here with that run defense and Rico Dowdle knowing the system, wanting revenge. I think he probably goes for at least 150 and just gets a beat down on the Cowboys. I say beat down, but they'll probably lose by like a field goal, give or take.
Yeah, I see the Cowboys-Panthers game being very similar to. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't think
it'll be a letdown game. I think.
I don't think it'll be a beatdown like the Jets because I think the Panthers actually have some sort of a pulse. They did come back and beat the Dolphins this weekend.
Yeah. No, the Dolphins are another team like the Jets. Like they're not a good team. Neither the Panthers. Dolphins, Panthers, and Jets are all kind of on that bottom rung, I think.
Shed. They've taken that by the shed and been whipped. They're a whipped dog now. They've got no fight left in them. The Dolphins team's done. And Mike Daniels he's too buddy to get the team fired up.
No, I think I'm surprised Mike McDaniel made it through Monday, to be honest with you. I thought there was a good chance
he'll make his bye, but after that, if they're still just wallowing, he gone.
Yeah, but Rico Dowdle got 260 yards in that game.
He could probably be there at the end of the year, but then get canned. Be one of the first ones on that black. What is it? Black Monday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see him be one of the first ones fired then.
But I fully anticipate Rico Dowdle having a big game against Dallas.
I'd say pick up in fantasy, but everybody already has.
Oh.
Everybody already has.
But they probably didn't start him last week.
Oh, no. He started against me in one league.
Oh.
I still won. But that was with Chuba Hubbard still in my starting line because I didn't check my lineup.
Yes,
that's a good win then.
Yeah, it worked out, but yeah, it's gonna. I can see Carolina win this game. I really do. They've got something to play for. They're coming off a big win, a comeback win against Miami. It's a trap game for Dallas. Looking over. looking past this team after a good win of just, hey, oh yeah, we can coast.
Yeah, like we're back. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, they could be potentially looking ahead to Washington, who's at home the following week.
So they just came off a big win against the Chargers, where they shut the Chargers down, completely shut them down.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the offense for the Chargers. I mean,
losing
Herbert looks lost, which is crazy. Well, that and the offensive line issues they've got too. But
it has. It's made them very one-dimensional. But
they're still leading that division.
They are still leading the division. They are. But yeah, I do see them looking over Carolina to get to Washington. Absolutely. You got with Dan Quinn and everything over there, and the other players that jumped ship and went over with Dan Quinn. So this definitely I could see as an easy trap game.
Yeah, and Jake Ferguson continues to get a bunch of targets from Dak, and he had 7 catches for 49 yards. He had a couple touchdowns as well. And and this is with a lot.
What's the guy's name? Florno, or if I'm saying his name right.
Yeah, Florno. He had a fantastic game. That was out of nowhere.
I think on the broadcast they kept calling him Florney.
Florney, I don't know.
That's what I can't hear. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's Flournoy. And also, the Dallas Cowboys had a lot of injuries on the offensive line. They had no Kevontae Turpin, obviously no CeeDee Lamb. This team continues to play.
Out.
Continues to produce without CeeDee Lamb. So that's another, I think, positive for
That's
Dallas.
why you went out and got George Pickens. George Pickens is the number one everywhere. The only reason he's not the number one is because you had CeeDee Lamb. But with CeeDee Lamb going down, I mean, we've talked about this, that, hey, George Pickens is going to get his, and he has been. The thing was, can you keep him under control? Can you keep him motivated and keep him buying into the system and not, pulling a wide receiver like they being a diva like they all are.
And so far,
do that.
Yeah, so far he's
doing good on and off the field, putting in the practice time.
Oh no, yeah, I have no problems with George Pickens and what he's done so far with the Cowboys. This is the George Pickens I hope to get. I didn't expect it because usually when Dallas trades for somebody, they go crazy, like Rajon Rondo with the Mavericks. But
Joe Callaway, Keyshawn Johnson.
Exactly.
Roy Williams.
T.O. stayed okay for a while before he finally went crazy. That's my quarterback. That's true. But usually ends bad. But so far, I mean, it's still early. It's 5 games in with George Pickens being in Dallas, so it's still early to say. But so far, he has been a pleasant surprise as well.
Absolutely. And once again, I love to bring up Mozzie Smith not even getting on the field as a first-round pick. I mean, obviously that's been exactly. Mozzie Smith.
He's been on the milk carton, as you like to say.
Yes.
Been on the milk carton since they drafted him.
Correct.
He hasn't done anything. He didn't even. I don't even remember him doing anything up at Michigan.
He only had half a sack his career at Michigan.
They brought him in as a run stopper. That was the whole selling point to the Dallas fan base. Is he's a run stopper. Yeah, he doesn't have any sacks because he stops the runs. What he is, he can't stop anything. He hasn't done anything.
No.
And neither has the rest of that defensive line, though.
Another Taco Charlton. Just quit taking defensive linemen from Michigan because apparently you can't pick those.
Yeah.
They failed. They keep failing at it. Stop doing it. Pick somewhere else. All right, I'm done. Done with these. I'm done with them.
Yeah, fair enough.
As a first.
I have Dallas winning though the next week in a fairly close game, but because I think Rico Dowdle is going to go off like he did last week against Miami to keep it close. But I think Dak Prescott outduels Bryce Young and Dallas gets a W.
We'll see. I'm picking Carolina.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to pick the Cowboys every single game just because of Dak Prescott. That's why. All right. Well, that was always fun, as I always get my blood pressure up. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break right here, and we'll be right back to get the rest of these guys' blood pressure up here in just a moment. And welcome back from the break. We're ready to move into our next round, which will be Cincinnati. Jeff, and big news coming out here before we record this podcast as the Cincinnati Bengals make the big trade over from the divisional rival Cleveland to bring in Joe Flacco. How do you feel about that?
And well, I would have like to see what other options are available.
They'll go jump for joy already, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Supposedly the report is they didn't even call the Giants about Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston.
I think
Winston would have been I think Winston fits your team better, Jeff.
Yeah, than Flacco. But I mean, I'd rather have Flacco than Russell Wilson.
Why would they do that when they've got the can and the string linked between Cleveland and Cincinnati? They just had to, jingle the can a little bit and reach out over to there.
Yeah, and then the Browns.
I mean, Flacco, unfortunately, right now though has got a 27% QBR, so he's not lighting the world on fire. There's also another reason they went with Dylan Gabriel in the Cleveland area.
Correct.
Nothing wrong with Joe Flacco.
I love Joe Flacco.
We're the same age.
Still be good.
Same age. You're younger, Jeff, but Caleb, we're the same age as Flacco. I think he's doing a damn good job.
Yeah,
for a 40-year-old man. Or if you ask my middle son, I'm 21.
But anyways, in this game against
the favorite son now,
the Lions, it was the same old Bengals since Joe Burrow went down.
Although you did come alive in the fourth quarter with the offense, I'll give you that much. In the fourth quarter, all of a sudden you turned it on and you showed Bengals of old and got this kind of close.
Touchdowns at the end.
Garbage touchdowns, but there was still some life. I mean, Browning already tanked you by throwing 3 interceptions in that first half, but
Brown showed a little promise earlier in the game. That I thought was a benefit. That you finally had Chase Brown doing something, yeah. It wasn't much, but he was showing more than he had been showing, which he was nothing.
I guess so.
Anything more
I guess that bar was so low, you're seeing it, but I didn't see it.
I saw a few plays like, oh, look, Brown's actually getting out there, shaking some tackles, making some runs.
We did see a Jamar Chase sighting.
We did, but it still just wasn't good enough. Obviously, not even close to being good enough. Jake Browning was awful. They couldn't bench him because they had no one literally else to go to unless that they wanted to put in Brett Rippon, who I don't think would have been.
Well, at that point, you might as well just see what you got, especially after those 3 interceptions.
You could have made the argument when it was 28-3 after those 3 interceptions. But yeah, it was just awful all around, and the Bengals had no choice but, as we alluded to today, making the trade for Joe Flacco. It provides a veteran presence. He almost beat the Bengals in week 1. I still think Flacco, the issue I have is, yes, Flacco still has a great arm. I think he still is a good decision maker. The issue I have is with the Bengals offensive line. If they can't protect Joe Flacco, I mean, Joe Flacco can't move at all. So
they can't protect Chase or Burrow or Browning. Yeah. He has no movement of those legs at 40 years old anymore. He's not going to scramble. No. So, like I said, I think that led to some of the problems with Flacco this year too, is that line in Cleveland is not great either. No, it seems like a theme in the AFC North. Just bad offensive line play. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Flacco, is definitely an upgrade. But yeah, I'm with you. I would have gone Winston. But
Winston, because of the years he hasn't played, I still think does have enough tread on the tires to run and escape and play. Yes. So I do agree with that. Even Russell Wilson, with the abuse he's taken, could still move a little bit more than Flacco can. So when I saw that, okay, hey, they're trying to do something, but I don't know what it is they're trying to do.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, they're not the only team, but we'll get into the other one later.
And I don't know what impact it's going to make on the rest of the games this year. I certainly don't anticipate a different result against Green Bay going on the road to Lambeau.
Yeah, I think you're definitely going to be 2-4.
Yes, especially with Green Bay coming off a bye week, having 2 weeks to prepare. For the Bengals.
I'm not gonna lie, I picked up Green Bay's defense in one of my fantasy leagues.
As you should. Because
I started all my skill players playing the Bengals, especially.
Even though they struggled against Dallas, the Green Bay
started them against the Ravens and Dallas too.
Yeah, the Green Bay defense has had a great year, with the exception of that Dallas game. And
very true.
Green Bay, I believe, is a 14.5-point pick. I think the intention is for Joe Flacco to play this Sunday with Jake Browning being the backup quarterback, because this clearly with Jake Browning cannot go on any longer.
It's kind of weird to think he was the number 2 ranked quarterback or backup QB by ESPN at the start of the year.
That's very surprising.
And unfortunately, this is what we're seeing. And I think it is, like Jeff said, part of it's got to be offensive line, because it's just not good.
Yeah, but also too, it's just decision making, and I think play calling is not very good either. I mean, decision making by Jake Browning when he's missing wide open receivers, checking down way too often. The Bengals play calling is by and large just short pass plays. They're playing not to not get killed, as opposed to trying to win a game. And if you're doing that, you can't win ball games. You can't be competitive in ball games. So I think hopefully with Flacco, they get the confidence to at least open up the offense some more. Again, I don't really anticipate too much of a different result against Green Bay this weekend, but hopefully just some sort of pulse on the offensive side of the ball.
Is this Taylor's? Is he on the hot seat now?
I mean, I would say in a normal situation he would be, but granted how this management run things, how Mike Brown and the family run things, I doubt he's on the hot seat. He has a contract through 2026. I don't even think it gets considered until potentially the end of the season if he's back. There's no change in the play. There's no. He has given no hint of giving up any play calling duties, which is unfortunate, because I think that a lot of his play calling has been subpar at best. Considering the offense had 3 points offensively and through 3 quarters in each of the games that they played so far since Joe Burrow went down. So yeah, I think he's here to stay until further notice, and but we'll see. I think if this winds up being a 3-14 or a 4-13 type of year, then we may reconsider his status as head coach. And that's all I got. I'm pissed. And the Packers kicked the Bengals' ass this weekend.
Oh yeah, definitely Packers over the Bengals. That's an easy one.
Very true.
All right. Well, we will let Jeffy kind of cool his blood pressure down here in just a moment, and we'll take a quick break. Be right back for the next round. And welcome back from the break because we're ready to continue the heartbreak here.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb, sorry you weren't planning on being in this position at the beginning of the season, but here you are now, and I acquiesce. I give you the floor.
Thank you. Yeah, it's the year from hell, like I mentioned, from the Barstool Sports rankings for the Ravens at this point. I mean, the Texans versus the JV Ravens, as I called them last week. They had so many people injured. Lost 44-10. Looked absolutely lifeless on both ends of the ball.
You made CJ Stroud look good again.
I know. I mean, and he's been fairly horrible. He's had like one good quarter. Granted, that was the last fourth quarter right before this game, but this is a game the Ravens should have won. And I mean, they look so defeated. You got a Texans player doing the fucking the Ray Lewis dance after a touchdown. Why nobody went over there and hit his ass? I don't know. That worries me a little more than most things. The fact that there's absolutely no leadership and no one willing to just stand up and just knock the shit out of someone when they do stupid shit. But is what it is. I mean, you can go down the list of in and out in this game, like Roquan Smith, Patrick Ricard, all these guys just missing time again. But that being said, you can look at the same thing at the 49ers, at their injury list that are gone. Almost half of their offensive starters and maybe the best defensive player in the league, or one of the top 10 at least, being out for San Francisco 49ers. What did they do? Oh, they just beat the Rams on Thursday Night Football. And one heck of a game, and actually showed up and did the damn job. So yeah, it's hard when you can't even hang your hat on anything. Like Jeff at least has a fourth quarter comeback, even if it's in garbage time. Ravens don't even get that accomplished. I mean, Cooper Rush.
No Lamar though.
No Lamar. Like I said, it's the JV Ravens. I mean, it's hard to just poo-poo on them that hard, but at the same time, when you see what other teams are doing,
right,
it's disappointing. Cooper Rush with 3 interceptions as well in this game. Granted, the offensive line again was absolutely atrocious. I mean, the Ravens have got to have some of the worst guard play. It was, oh my gosh, it was just atrocious. I mean, Falele should not be an NFL guard in this league. He's got to be pulled. So I'm hoping Emory Jones can come in and at least do something. Voorhees did look better. I think that's part of the reason Linderbaum is having such a bad year, is because he's got to watch out for these 2 horrible guards and help on one or the other, which eventually gets him out of blocking place. Rosengartner has been terrible as well. Stanley's been average. So, I mean, it's just a complete and utter mess. And part of that you got to lay at the feet of Eric DaCosta, just building this line, trying to go younger, trying to go cheaper, spend the money elsewhere. And Notre Dame was looking like an absolute bust as far as a signing too, speaking of offensive line. And even our backup fullback, Peyton, he's been okay. He had a horrible day. I mean, there was many plays where you just look and there's an offensive lineman laying on the ground or just looking back at the pack because the guy that he's supposed to block is now over there.
Right.
So, I mean, it's atrocious. I mean, Derrick Henry, yards after contact, there are none. He's getting touched at -5 or -0.5 yards. So basically he's being touched in the backfield. Yeah. Getting touched in the backfield on every play. So, I mean, we just can't do anything there. And I mean, again, I switch over to the defensive side too. I mean, it's absolutely bad over there too. Zach Orr is going to have to be fired at the end of this year. There's no way around that.
Until Monday.
I know. We'll get into that in just a second with some other news for them. But I mean, Brent Urban's your best pressure guy right now for the offensive line. Journeyman Brett Urban, who has been a great Raven, but at the same time, that's not who you're counting on to be the future of your franchise on that side of the ball. Not to mention 34-year-old Kyle Van Noy on the other side of that ball, being the only guy who can pass rush. So, I mean, like I said, there's nothing you can hang your hat on. I mean, Cooper Rush is missing reads, throwing bad picks. I thought he would be better than what he is, but granted, nothing can be done behind this offensive line. Warhop definitely should have been fired, the offensive line coach.
But also, he looked better than Dallas because that he had been in that system for many, many years before he.
I know, and I'm like I say, I'm willing to give Cooper Rush a little bit of a pass for this week just because it's his first actual game. But I mean, he's got to be better. This game was bad.
He's learning the whole new system. I mean, it's a new system, and then you're thrown in immediately into it. I mean, it's hard to do. Not everybody's meant to be an NFL quarterback. So, I mean, when you're back,
like I said, I think Cooper Rush could be better. Like I said, we've seen better with the Dallas Cowboys, so I think Cooper Rush can improve. He's like I say, when this offensive line is this bad, you've got to pick up your timing a little bit. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be
Lamar
there.
Come back. That could come back.
Lamar is out at least through the bye. They're hoping he may come back against the Bears after the bye, but that's a maybe at this point. I mean, there's so many guys out that are potentially back after the bye. But I mean, it's most likely going to be week 7 or 8 before the Ravens are back to full strength. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, there's got to be some heads rolling somewhere. And I look at John Harbaugh, who looks over and says after the game, like, no, Zach Orr doesn't need to be fired. We need to come together and stick it out. And then today the Ravens come out and they trade Odafe Oweh to the Chargers for safety Aloy Gilman, excuse me, and swapping a 5th and a 7th round pick. Chargers get into 7th in this case. I mean, Owafe has his playing time decreased ever since but he had a career year last year. He does got 11% pressure rating, which is kind of nice. But
it's change of scenery. Maybe it's all I need.
I mean, he's not going to be the future. Obviously, at least that's what the Ravens feel like, granting his play time going down with a couple of rookies coming in, even though their pressure rate's about half of what OFE's is. So we'll see how that turns out. I know the Ravens want to play a 3 safety so Kyle Hamilton can come to the line because that's where he's best at and kind of be that hybrid safety type attacker. So maybe that'll help getting the other safety in. But it's just kind of weird timing to come right after those comments from Harbaugh, who I'm thinking is going to be fired at the end of this year, especially the way it's going right now.
I was going to say, how are you feeling about Harbaugh? You know, I was about to bring that up. You know,
I think this entire staff might have to be traded out. In all honesty, Harbaugh to me at this point, he's got to go. I mean, when the team shows up completely lifeless and you're supposed to be the game manager, kind of like we talked about last week, and this rah guy and pump everybody up, your message is obviously falling on deaf ears. So it's just time. I mean, he's been there 18 years. Like, it's just time for a new one. It happens. So, I mean, I expect him to be gone, Monken gone, and Orr gone, and definitely the offensive line coach has got to go. But I mean, right now, like I said, there's just not any bright spots you can look at. You can't go, yeah, Derrick Henry could be good. Oh, wait till Lamar Jackson gets back. Oh, that could be week 8. I mean, if the way the Ravens are playing right now against the Texans, you could be 1-6 by that time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not looking good. I mean, the Rams, I think, are going to come in and just absolutely demolish the Ravens this upcoming week. Coming off that loss to the 49ers, I think they're pissed. Our defense can't stop anything. Our offensive can't get anything going. So, I mean, basically we're becoming Vanderbilt. Everybody's get right game. Or I should say Vanderbilt of old, because Vandy's looking
Vanderbilt of old.
Yeah, Vandy of old. We're the get right game at this point.
You're the slump buster now. That's what you are.
It's a year from hell. It is horrible. But yes, that is who we are. Unfortunately,
yeah. The Rams.
Although I mean, the Owafe trade does free up $8 million, so maybe that could be used to go out and buy a guard somewhere on the free agent market. Put some money in there, or maybe there's some more trades coming. Because I mean, Eric DeCosta right now is not looking good either with the team that he's currently built, because it's not getting the job done by any stretch of the imaginations. And I think it's more coaches at this point right now, because we know Zach Orr wasn't any good until Dean Pease got there. I mean, Pease is still there, but it's just not good.
It seems like that would make an easy transition to just gone ahead and done that.
I honestly was thinking that. I was like, I don't understand. Like, why don't we just put Pease in there for now? Hire Zach Orr, or if he wants to go back to linebacker and they want to be like, sorry, guy, or just give him the defensive play calling duties, whatever. I was kind of thinking that myself. Like, that would be kind of, I think, okay, just to see what kind of talent you actually do have out there. Now, granted, I'm a big believer in you got to win in the trenches. And when you're losing on the defensive line and offensive line, that I'm just going to harp on all this year at this rate, you're not going to win many games.
Right.
You got to have the meat and potatoes. If you don't have the meat and potatoes, nothing else. All the rest is just fluff. You're not going to get anything else out of it. Yeah. So now that you're saying Harbaugh should be gone at the end of the year, who is on your short list of potential replacements for this next season?
Honestly, I'm still going through it. I don't even have a formalized list. I couldn't even give you a bunch of like top 3 names at this point. So ask me again next week because I don't know at this point.
All right, I'll let you do some homework on that before I bring that in. I thought I could, give you a little surprise and maybe you had somebody you've just been marinating on.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the people you'd like to see are doing okay with their teams. Liam Combs got the Jaguars playing okay. I was thinking maybe he might want to come over, but Mike Macdonald, I'd love Mike Macdonald to come over, but he ain't going anywhere. I would love that, but he ain't going to leave Seattle. He's got, I think, another 2 years on that contract anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe we can trade for him, though. Sorry. Give up a first-round pick. Maybe we can trade for him like the Raiders did. But I doubt the Ravens would use the draft capital in that way.
Aaron Glenn may have a job at the end of the year.
But do we want him?
No,
as we mentioned.
You don't want, and you
put
don't
that
want
curse on me, Ricky Bobby.
You need those first round picks to build up those line.
Yes.
Build up the defensive line. That's what you need.
Offensive line at least, but
Big
yeah.
West.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Roman.
Maybe, but I feel he's more of a coordinator than a head coach type of guy.
Yeah.
I was gonna we joked a couple of weeks ago, maybe Mike Tomlin gets fired from the Pittsburgh Steelers and Harbaugh gets fired from the Ravens and they just switch places.
Well, true. Because of both of your teams being inept, you're gonna let the Steelers come in with Aaron Rodgers and win this division, and Tomlin's gonna stay in his job. That's what's gonna happen.
I know, right?
Yes.
They're gonna fall into the AFC North with Aaron Old Man River.
Yeah, Old Man River.
That's exactly what's going
Old
to
Man
happen.
River up there with 3-1. Oh, and Bengals sitting second division at 2-3. That's how bad the AFC North is.
Half of the Yinzer fans are freaking ecstatic about it. The other half are like, "No, we're gonna have another year of Tomlin." We're in purgatory, and these other teams are keeping us. They honestly believe that Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland are losing on purpose to keep them in purgatory. In the Tomlin purgatory.
I can officially burst that for the Yinzer fan base that it is not the Ravens conspiracy losing games.
No, I can confirm that as well.
The crazy thing about the Yinzers is they'll come up with different ways to see about it, but
yeah, like I said, it's going to be one of those years. It's going to be every year. I got the blood pressure medication. I've called the doctor and asked for a raise in the dosage, so should be okay.
I got my refill the other day.
Out of the three of us, the Ravens are the most surprising so far this year because the Cowboys are doing pretty much exactly what I thought they would.
Yeah, like I said, we thought they'd be good on offense and terrible on defense.
The Bengals are doing what we thought they would if Burrow got hurt. Which at
least you have an injury to explain that.
Mm-hmm.
You do
too.
We kind of have like 7 injuries, I guess, maybe to explain a little bit. But those guys weren't necessarily playing top caliber football before they were injured either.
Lamar wasn't looking good before he got injured.
Yeah.
So that's the most frustrating. Yeah, you win, Caleb. You have the most frustrating year through week 5.
Yeah, especially with teams with Super Bowl aspirations.
Yes. Yeah, I think I haven't seen like a team fall this flat on their face since the Rich Gannon Raiders after their Super Bowl run.
Oh, yeah.
The 3 Raiders.
Dude, the Raiders never recovered after that Super Bowl.
They did. No. They never got back up off the mat. They just said, we like it here.
No. They just said, we're done.
Yes.
As a franchise.
They moved to Vegas. God, Al Davis is still alive at that time.
Yeah.
Oh, the himself.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know who y'all got to win. I'm guessing it's Rams, but just curious if anyone's going to surprise me.
I'm easily picking the Rams. Rams hardcore. They're coming off that loss there against their divisional rival. Ravens are floundering. They're not. The Rams. Say what you want to say about Sean McVay, but he has his teams ready to beat the teams they need to beat. And unless it's a divisional game, they do beat the teams they have to beat. So
typically, yes.
And right now, this year, the Ravens is a team you should beat.
Yes.
Yeah, even with the game in Baltimore, I think the Rams win that game with no Lamar Jackson, and I think the Rams are playing pretty desperate after blowing that game against the Niners on Thursday night.
Definitely. They got to get back.
I mean, the Rams are a touchdown, 7.5. Excuse me, I guess I should say 7.5 favorite at the Ravens' home.
That's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge.
That should tell you what you need to know.
Right.
I predict them win by 2 scores, at least by 10 points.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah, 2 scores. I'm guessing it could be 2 touchdowns, field goal and a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm thinking
if we're lucky, maybe just 2 field goals. But yeah,
I'll be conservative.
27-17 is my score.
All right. Well, unless you have any other things to rant and rave about.
Fire Nico and fire Harbaugh. That's all I got.
Fire Nico.
Yeah, I almost forgot. Doesn't matter that we're talking NFL. Fire Nico. He sucks.
Fire Nico.
And this
Cooper Flag did look pretty good in his debut.
Over Facebook and social media about with Cooper Flag and Kyrie and AD, this team is unstoppable, and our bench is not. Kyrie's not playing half the year.
Right.
He's got half the year before he comes back. Stop. You're blowing. You're inflating.
Yeah, I had to stop following him all my social media accounts. I'm like, no.
When Cooper Flag's being inflated so much that when he inevitably fails because he's a rookie and that's what they do. Everyone's going to come down on him because they've blown him up into super mythical proportions. Like, he's not going to be what Luka is now. Yeah, he doesn't have the experience. He's a rookie. You got to let him learn. You got to go into it. They're building him up way too much.
I think he's going to have to put a little muscle on too, but
they all do.
We'll see.
Every rookie that comes in. I mean, Zion took it to the extreme.
Well, I think he ate like 2 people.
That's because he gets backed by New Orleans. You've had the food in New Orleans, that Cajun
food. True. That is true. That is true. Some crab cakes and jambalaya.
Woo. Good Lord, have mercy. Anyways, that's a conversation for another time. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. Please follow us on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook. Are we on Twitter? We're on Twitter, right?
Yes.
Yes, we're on the Twitter. So talk to us on all of those. Please reach out. Give us your it's X now. That's right.
Close enough. Everybody still calls it Twitter.
Yeah. Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, whether you like Elon or not, don't care. Reach out to us on those. Give us your opinions. Let us know what you want us to talk about as far as these our NFL teams are concerned. If there's something you want to put in there, or just let us know, and we'll give you a shout out here on the air. Other than that, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us again here this evening. For Caleb Culver, for Jeff Amos, this is Chris Porter, and we'll see you all on the next round. Cheers.
Cheers.